Hey, it's Sarah the Savage. Yeah, I'm just gonna speak for a little bit. I've been posting just little posts because I've been having like a little slight headache, y'all. So I can't really speak too much on what's going on because it's just little pieces here and there. I've been seeing stuff like non-stop. Like he been coming to me over and over and over. And me, I got to get in the habit of writing down my dreams. Because when you write down your dreams in the spiritual, it's like a binding contract. So when I see this social media couple is going to have a little girl. Once I document it and I write it down, in the spiritual, it's a binding contract that this person is going to have a girl because this is what I saw. And me writing this in the physical, it create a binding contract in the spiritual. So I posted, but I do got a journal at home. And this supposed to be like this sacred little journal. But I need to write this stuff down because I need to bind what thus said the Lord. I need to write this stuff down and get this together. So I'm working on that part of me. I'm working on being able to just write this down so I can create the binding contract that's needed in the spiritual based on what God is telling me, what he's showing me. It need to be written down because thus said the Lord. So it needs to manifest good and bad. Whatever I see, he said, write it down. I can't pick and choose. So whatever he showed me, I need to write it down as a binding contract. But yeah, this is Sir the Savage. I've been saying a lot of stuff here and there. I'm tickled because I had one dream, right? And the dream, it was like these people were dancing, like they were doing this particular dance, but I couldn't do the dance because of the music. So I'm like, the only way I can do this particular dance is that I gotta listen to old songs. And so in the dream, it was the old song, The Percolator. And when I woke up, it was a video, and it was dealing with the percolator. Like, for real. And that was what I was dreaming in the dream. Like, I was like, I can't do that dance. I'm like, only thing that get me on that level is old school, like something from the old school, like this new stuff. Like, I just can't vibe with it. But if you want me cut up, it gonna have to be like percolator. And when I woke up to see that particular song playing, that would tickle me. Cause yeah. So y'all, I'm finna get ready to read this. Cause I did a post. And in the post I said, if I say I'm gonna climb Mount Everest, and you tell me 1,000,001 reasons why I can't climb Mount Everest, you cut from the team. I can't have you nowhere around me. Cause me, I'm trying to move mountains. And you, with no faith, you a stumbling block for what I'm trying to do out here. So I can't even have you nowhere on my team. So if I speak and say anything that I want to do and the people around me tell me why I can't do what I need to do out here, you don't need to be around me, period. So I'm finna read this right here. I'm gonna read two things. This right here is Matthew verse 20. I'm finna read this real fast. And it's dealing with Jesus talking about you can move mountains. And people try to say, he meant this. No, if he say you can move mountains and he doesn't specify and say spiritual mountain, then it's whatever mountain you feel like a mountain is. It's in the physical too if you want it to be a physical mountain. If God told me I can move mountains, you not going to translate and tell me what Jesus was meaning when Jesus said what he said. If the Holy Spirit tell me mountains is mountains, and I choose to say physical mountains, then that's where it's going to be. But you don't have a right, and you is out of alignment with God by telling me what you think the translation is for me in my life. I got the Holy Spirit to do all that. That's what its job is. That's what the Holy Spirit do. It's going to give me what it need to tell me dealing with what's going on out here. No, but Jesus meant this. But when he was doing that time, it was going on. And no matter what was going on during that time, it's the living word. And I'm in 2025. So the word going to apply to me and what I got going on right now. And the Holy Spirit going to tell me how it apply to me. It's the living word. That's my food. That's my spiritual food. So it's going to tell me how it's going to apply to my life right now, y'all. So I let the Holy Spirit guide me on what it mean, what it don't mean. If it say I can move a mountain, if I got the faith, then I'm going to get the faith so I can move the mountain. Because that's what it said. That's what his words say. And God cannot tell a lie. God cannot go against himself. He can't go against his word, or he's going against his total existence as God. So it's impossible for him to tell you one thing and do something else. So what he say, that lock. So if he say I can move a mountain with my faith, okay, God, this what you said, right? Ain't this what's in your word? I can move a mountain with my faith. Okay, well, that's what it's going to be. The physical mountain and the spiritual mountains. Because you didn't specify, and you left it like that for a reason. It's a reason why you didn't specify. Because you want us to think bigger. You want us to think outside the box. Because you got the spirit that's way larger and can't even contain the flesh. Can't even contain this body. So why are we limiting ourselves to what this body can contain when the spirit is infinite? The spirit is infinite. It can't contain the flesh. So why are you limiting yourself to the flesh and you got a spirit that's residing within you? So I'm going to read this right quick and then I'm going to read something else. But if somebody ain't got no faith, you cannot be around me, period. You are not allowed to be around me. You are not allowed to be in my space. I am not going to go back and forth with you about what I can do, what I can't do. I did that in the past because of how I was brought up. But now that my eyes are open, my spiritual eyes, I'm not going to waste my time with unbelievers. Like, I'm not going to waste my time going back and forth with you about what God told me what I can do. But I'm not going to go back and forth with you like that, because that's a waste of my time. And my time is precious. My time is priceless. So I'm not going to spend my time proving myself to people. I'm just going to, if you don't believe, you get away from around me. I don't need your kind around me. I don't need no unbelief. None of that negativity around me whatsoever with what I'm trying to do out here. You ain't got no faith, then why you around me anyway? I feel like you sent by the enemy. I feel like you ain't got no faith and I'm trying to move and do stuff. And you tell me 1,000,001 reasons why I can't do what I want to do out here. And God ain't told me no. But you feel like you going to tell me 1,000,001 reasons why I can't do what I want to do out here. You is the enemy. You is working for Satan. Get behind me, Satan. That's what I got to say to that. Get behind me, Satan. So I'm going to read this right here. This is Matthew 20. And I'm going to read this fast because I'm going into 3 things dealing with this. And then I'm going to let y'all go. But this Saturday, Sabbath, like I said, I got a slight headache, so I had to take a BC. I've been seeing stuff here and there. I've been doing little posts on what I've been seeing. But God want me to start writing down what I see. Because that's a binding contract in the spiritual. When thus said the Lord. And I write down what thus said the Lord. So I'm working on that, y'all. I'm working on that part of it. I do little posts to make it public that it has been spoken. But I still need to get my journal together in this process. So right here, it says, so Jesus said to them, because of your unbelief, for surely I say to you, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. So Jesus is basically saying certain things that you're trying to do. So God is basically saying ain't nothing impossible. Basically, he's saying it himself. It's nothing that's impossible. Whatever you want to do, you can do out here. Like nothing is off limits with God. And he also saying right here, because I don't really read before time. Like I read with y'all because I want the Holy Spirit to, boom, I like to put the Holy Spirit on the spot. Like, what you got to say about this? So I don't pre-read it and try to get understanding. I just do it on the spot. Because I'm trying to figure out what he going to tell me. Live and in person. Like, Holy Spirit, what you saying dealing with this? Okay. First thing he's saying is like, nothing is impossible. Just keep that in mind. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And he want me to read it again. It say, and nothing would be impossible for you. Nothing would be impossible for you. Nothing. That's the word, y'all. God cannot lie. He can't lie to you. So if he say nothing impossible, boom, take that in. Nothing is impossible. And he also said, Because this right here dealing with spirits and casting out certain spirits and stuff. It's saying, it's thrown in here in this verse. So it made me want to go back see what's going on. However, this kind does not go out except by prayer and fasting. So then it jumped to certain type of strongholds and principalities. In order to remove it, you have to fast and pray. You can't just speak to it and say, hey, you can't just speak verbally and say, lead this man based on the type of principality and the stronghold over this person. Because when you deal with spirits and demons and stuff, it's a hierarchy. It's a spiritual hierarchy. So it's like levels to it. And if you want to get to the upper level of what's going on, that's going to require prayer and fasting. To be able to do some of the stuff you're trying to do, it's going to require prayer and fasting. Bottom line. So me, first thing I was saying is I can't have people around me that have no faith. Your little faith is a hindrance to what God trying to do with me. Me trying to explain to you what God is telling me is in so many words. It's a waste of my time. You're a distraction. You wasting my time from my growth with God, because I'm taking time from God to explain stuff to you about what I can and can't do, and I don't really have time for that. Like, I don't have time to try to get with unbelievers about what God telling me I can do out here. Like, I just don't have time for it. So I'd rather just remove myself from the equation. Like, unbelievers, y'all can stick together and y'all can talk about 1,000,001 reasons why y'all can't do what y'all need to do out here. But me, I'm moved by faith. Because the Bible told me if I move by faith and then I pray and fast, and then through prayer and fast and faith, I can move. Nothing is impossible. So this right here where I'm rocking with right here. And if you got unbelief and you in my ear, you done planted a negative seed. So now I got to uproot this seed you done planted, because you done spoke negativity. You done spoke a curse over what God told me I can do by telling me what I can't do. So now I got to spiritually uproot this seed, this negative seed you done planted by telling me what I can't do. And so I don't got time for that. So when I'm trying to do something, and that's why I keep my circle small, I don't need you in my ear. Like, I don't need you speaking word curse or what God tell me I can do out here. Because God said nothing is off the table. I do whatever I feel like I want to do out here with faith, prayer, and fasting, as long as it's aligned with God's will. God, if it's your will, what you want me to see, what's going on, and guess what? If it's in his will, he gonna give me the rundown. So, that's the first thing. So I'm finna go to the other verse now. Yeah, I'm back. I'm reading right here, Mark 5, verse 32. And it was somebody whose daughter had actually died. I'm trying to see if I need to do this with this or separate it. I'm going to separate this video because I don't want it to be too long. God be having a lot to say. And he's taking me to the daughter that died. And I'm gonna make this a separate video, but God said, I bring dead things to life. So when he took my daughter, and he said, in order to experience death, you got to deal with death. One of my gifts behind that is I bring dead things to life. So with me bringing dead things to life, and then God telling me I can do even more than what I'm doing now with prophecy. He already telling me little stuff and giving me little clues here and there. And I deal with the dead on so many levels, y'all. But and I don't box God in. That's one thing I do not do, because if I box God in, I limit my ability of how God want to use me. So I do not box God in. When God said, in order to experience death, you got to deal with death, I deal with death on so many levels, like so many. But when I say, in order to experience death, you got to deal with death, and I tell you that God told me I got the gifting of bringing dead things to life. That include like your dead visions, like promises, like dead, like dreams, like stuff you trying to do, but for whatever reason it's dead. God said I got the ability to resurrect it. It popped through my face, y'all. Because you cannot tell me no. I always say I'm spoiled. You cannot tell me no, really. Like, I get what I want. I am. I'm spoiled for real. I really do get what I want out here. You cannot tell me no. And I got the faith to back it up. So if it's something dead going on, like people trying to do stuff, like you have to open up your mind like a Pandora box. Do not box yourself in with the physical. It's spiritual too. But God did say you can bring dead things to life. And even when they told me my daughter was dead, God did come into the situation through my dad and was like, well, you can't have a change of heart with this situation with your daughter. Like, they telling you she dead, but if you do this, I would show favor in this situation. But I told God, if you said this something that gotta happen, I'm not gonna go against what you telling me, even though you telling me I do have another option. And if I do what you tell me to do, how you tell me to do, she gonna live, even though they telling me she dead. So with that situation, even with the situation with my daughter, my daddy called me. He was like, look, God telling me this, but I just let that be because God, he had already got with me on it. And I trust God in this process. And even with God coming to me saying, okay, I have a change of heart with what was told to you dealing with your daughter who was dead, who died. I have a change of heart with it. I just let it be at peace. Because God had already explained everything to me. So it wasn't no reason for me to go through that process. So I'm going to read about the daughter that died in another video. But he leading me to speak on this. Because, yeah, so when I say I deal with the dead, deal with death, yeah, when God took my daughter, spiritually it just boom. Something spiritually was just like birthed into the world. Something spiritually was birthed into the world. And it was just something that I had to go through to do what I'm doing right now. One of the things that did was desensitize me. So when I say I gotta get these warnings out and I'm desensitized, you ain't gonna be able to move like I move out here. You can't do what I'm doing. Yeah, you can't do what I'm doing out here. You know, people say they want be in dream, but you ain't built for it. You ain't built for what I can see out here. Like, people want to do what you do. You ain't built for this. You'll be in a mental hospital if you see what I see, how I see all the time. Like, everybody ain't built for it. You want other people's gifts, and you want to be able to, I want to do this, I want to do that. Like, you want to be a counterfeit. But you being a counterfeit, it'll drive you crazy. Like, you'll be in a mental hospital trying to hijack somebody's spiritual gift that God appointed for them. And God ain't build you for it. And you out here trying, you ain't built for it. You can't, you'll go crazy. Like, you'll be in a mental hospital, like insanity. If you think some of the stuff that God has designed for certain people to see. Everybody can't see what he's showing them. Everybody ain't built for it. So, y'all, I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. But I'm going to do this other video later. And it's dealing with the dead girl. And it's going back to the faith. And the reason why I can't have people with no faith nowhere around me. Because with what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to move, you going to block me from what I'm trying to do out here. So, if you ain't got no faith, and I say, ooh, I'm finna climb Mount Everest, and then all of a sudden you got to put your 2 cents in to tell me why I can't climb Mount Everest when God just told me to climb Mount Everest. You cut right then. I don't need your kind around me. I don't need nobody with no faith, with no faith trying to be around me and I move by faith out here. You the problem. I wasn't getting nothing done with you around. So I'm gonna read that later. And it deals with what I'm talking about now. And y'all enjoy y'all day. Y'all be safe. But this is what God told me. Now, people feel like only psychics deal with the dead. Mary Baxter, for you people, Mary Baxter, God sent her to hell. And she had to deal with the dead. And she had to write a book about it. And not only her, it's other people that have been to hell and seen the dead and talked to the dead and had to come back and write about it. So, I mean, all these people feel like, ooh, it's satanic. What you think Satan Satan is a counterfeit. Everything Satan do, we got legal rights and we got clearance to do everything he doing. What he doing is illegal. So if you see him do it, just know it's a legal way to do everything you see him doing. It's a legal way, even astro projecting. People say, ooh, astro. I don't use the word astro project because that's like worldly. How you think Moses wrote the first 5 books? He had to go back to the beginning of time. He had to go outside of time to write that. Because he was born after the beginning was created. But Moses was the one that wrote the first 5 books. So how you think he did that? How you think he was able to write the first 5 books? He had to travel outside of time like I traveled outside of time to do that. Now, people who's in the world and demonic, they might call it astro projecting. But just know it's a legal way to do everything that you see Satan do illegally. Because he copied God. So he got everything that you see everybody doing that's illegal. It's a legal way that God people doing everything you see these people doing illegally. Just know that too. And I'll talk to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day. Y'all just get Satan too much credit out here. Y'all get Satan way too much credit out here. Satan is copying God. Satan cannot create anything. Everything you see Satan do, even though it's through illegal means, God doing it legally. God is doing it legally. My daddy. Because like I said, he didn't tell me too much. And I think I know why. It's because God wanted to teach me himself. So even though my daddy was prophetic, my daddy used to tell me little stuff here and there. My daddy really didn't teach me, because my daddy would have taught me, it would have locked me in. Like, it wouldn't have been no way to erase what my daddy told me. So my daddy really didn't involve me till he began near his death. And one person who my daddy mentioned was Moses and the time. And so when it comes to Moses and time, my gift is revolved around my daddy. And my daddy said his gift is somewhere in alignment with Moses. So I'm like, because I was like, God, what's my gift? What's my gift? And then God was like, what your daddy did, that's what you were able to do. So I be thinking like, what my daddy? But my dad did mention Moses, and he mentioned time. And I would tell you, I travel outside of time. Moses traveled outside of time. That's how he was able to write the first 5 books write the first 5 books. He had to travel, and he had to travel into a realm outside of time to write the first 5 books. Not only him, I think John did the same thing. How he write Revelation? He had to travel outside of time. It's certain realms that God give people access to. And they have certain gifts where they can do this. Everybody can't do this. God said what I can do, he said everybody cannot do what I do. So people who can't do what I do will question what I can do and say, oh, it's not biblical. Because God already said it's a restriction on it, and it's not accessible to everybody. What I do and what I can do is not accessible to everybody. God has already made this known. So people may say, hey, that's not biblical. God the one instilled the gifts. How you gonna tell me that what God instilled in me is biblical, not biblical? Like, how you gonna determine the gift God put in me? God designed me, created me. God instilled what he wanted to instill inside of me. But you want to look in the Bible and try to determine if my gift is from God or not, if it's biblical for me to have the gift that God has given me. Like, what is you even doing? You was you was in violation to you people. You could try and attempt, and then maybe the Holy Spirit will reveal to you. If you really talk to him, she rocking with us, and you will know what it is. Maybe you'll get with the Holy Spirit, he'll reveal that to you, and you will know I'm rocking with him. They can be like, yeah, she good. If you got that kind of relationship. But if you ain't got that kind of relationship and you trying to use religion or religious demon to try to determine what I got going on, then okay, keep doing you. Like, it's no hate on my part. I don't really feel no kind of way, 'cause I know what God told me. And God told me that what I do, he said, very few people, like, this something he don't give to everybody. Like, this not accessible. What I do and the gift that he put in me, it's not for everybody. And he made that clear too. So even though I might walk around like, dang, why ain't nobody? That's just what it is with me. And if you feel some kind of way, go talk to God about it. Go talk to the Holy Spirit. Like, I want you to. Because I want you to tell me what he telling you about me. I would like to hear some revelation about me too, y'all. I tell y'all about y'all. Tell me about me. Prophets, you prophetesses, tell me something. I need to hear a word. I'm good, but if God do give you a word, let me know. Let me know in this process, but he gonna let you know. Yeah, she rocking with me. I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day.